It can be a harsh and cold world for the living, and when these paranormal investigators discovered, which can be the same as the afterlife. Number 5. For over a year, I have mentioned briefly the saga of Joseph Chansuom, a YouTuber who was haunted by a spirit from 2011 to 2014. However, I could not tell his entire story. And especially, there are 3 more videos that are well worth watching. Nevertheless, first, I carried out some more research and discovered a blog that has been updated for years. And because Joseph first noticed an apparition only a few weeks after allowing his girlfriend to move into his apartment, I doubt that she brought something with her that had attached itself to her. In a short time, each of them seemed to sense constantly followed, especially in the shower, and it got to the point where both of them thought that the other was pranking them. However, one day while Joseph was taking a shower, he listened to his sweetheart enter the bathroom. Because the subject was already on his mind, he told her that he thought the apartment was haunted. However, the figure on the other side, whom he mistook for his sweetheart, vanished mid-explanation. From then on, Joseph started to place his single camera in various locations to record the spirit, and that's when things took a turn for the worse. On April 16, 2012, Joseph announces to whoever is listening that he is going to bed for the night.
So we're just going to film this area. I had, like I said, my lighting issues were horrible, so I'm leaving some lights on this time. So if there is anything, hopefully we'll catch it. Anyways, guys, have a good night. See you in the morning.
And it appears that orb activity starts at 2 minutes and 12 seconds, lasts about 6 seconds, and after that, suddenly stops. For more than 40 seconds, the kitchen is deafeningly quiet, and after that, the stovetop burner ignites to its highest setting. At 3 minutes and 17 seconds, this appears out of nowhere. However, 3 seconds before the oven switches on, an orb appears in front of it at 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Was this the ghost in question, as captured on camera? Because Joseph was sleeping, this event could have burned down the entire place if anything was still on the burner, which is possibly what this ghost was attempting all along. On November 28 of that same year, 7 months later, Joseph raises the camera to a high ledge to show as much of his living room as possible. Floor to ceiling, he issues a statement once more that he's going to bed and turns off the lights.
Anyways, we'll see what we get and if we get anything. So I'll see you in the morning and...
It is 11:46 p.m. For about 2 minutes, everything appears normal until there is a shadowy movement that appears near the entertainment center. Even when circled, it's difficult to notice. However, when you do, it looks out of place. None of the other darker areas of the room are moving like this, so I don't think that it's camera pixelation. After about 2 minutes, there seems to be a large lonesome orb floating upwards from that part of the room and vanishes. This speaker collapses and lands not far from where the orb originated, exactly 10 seconds later, at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Undoubtedly, there is not any known that is around to knock it over, so how was it done if it's a hoax? Joseph posted his final YouTube video on October 1, 2013, informing everyone that he had moved to a new apartment. According to him, despite the fact that changing his location has dispelled the spirit, given that it may have attached itself to his sweetheart when she first moved in, I'm not convinced. This section, which lasts 4 minutes and 30 seconds, demonstrates my point even more. Even though it could be his camera squeaking while being adjusted, it sounds a lot like a small child's laughter.
But, anyways, let's see if we can do it like this. There we go.
When compared to his normal laugh, it's clear that it's not the same voice. And that was fairly much the last time anyone heard from him. On July 25, 2014, he posted a blog update promising more videos, which sadly never materialized. Despite the fact that I have no idea what happened to him, and no one knows, suddenly dropping off at the height of your fame is unsettling to say the least, and gets me to be curious if something terrible took place. Number 4. Despite the fact that it's not a welcoming sign, it could be the work of some edgy teenagers or even someone in their own group, so they continue on. And across from the dolls is a photograph of a Russian team huddled around an odd object in the center. Because I'm not sure what this in the middle is, please help me figure it out because it could be a hint. After that, I'm guessing this was a photo of the children who used to come here before the meltdown. Who has an idea how many, if any, survived to adulthood as a result of the radioactive exposure? A spine-chilling old photograph of a Russian woman who wears a full uniform is crying is immediately at the back of the photo. Despite the fact that I don't know what this picture means, according to me, because they're saying something important here, please translate this section from Russian to English if you can. It becomes clear after a while that they are being watched. At 2 minutes and 15 seconds, there seem to be these white eyes that first pop up on the other side of a window. I initially thought that it was just his light until I realized his chest is being hit by the light and it shouldn't be visible at the back of him at all. And then, at 3 minutes and 52 seconds, the eyes peer once more in a doorway, this time much closer.
Сколько его не убирали, смотри на этом. Офигеть. Здесь уже люди сколько не были.
Even though it's only for a split second, who has a flashlight that looks like that? There is not anyone that I am aware of. Those are definitely eyes, and glowing ones at that. Despite the fact that they meet by chance a section of the building they've previously explored, this time the door is open only in part, so they take a cautious step inside. At 7 minutes and 56 seconds, the first thing I saw were these floating eyes. They appear to be the same size and shape as the previous ones. However, all they saw was the top of someone's head, someone enormously tall and completely still. There appears to be a figure that has a blacked-out face and long white garb stands motionless. Then, they flee, only to run into it one more time. It seems that its white clothes are similar to the doll clothes we saw earlier. Could it have been a forewarning? When it approaches them, it appears shorter but impossibly broad-shouldered and powerful. Despite the fact that I'm not sure why they let it get this close, I'm guessing that they were frozen in place from fear and exhaustion from running. Even though I was looking forward to it was a mannequin or something, but when it does this, I know it's not.
Да, Вадим, иди назад.
It appears that the group moves backward inside and, now cornered, resorts to smashing through a window and casting caution to the wind to climbing through broken glass just to leave behind no matter what they just saw, so I believe it's real. Number 3. The Ouija brothers, a courageous ghost hunting duo from the English Midlands, are Sweet Richards and Jason Griffiths. Aside from their bravery, what distinguishes them from the majority is that they are more doubtful and frequently set out to debunk well-known haunted locations rather than push for them. Having said that, they might have met their match at Shepton Mallet Prison. Shepton Mallet Prison, founded in 1610, is the country's oldest and longest-running prison, closing in 2013. It seems that 4 centuries of brutal treatment have resulted in hostile spirits who, for the most part, were not good people, to begin with. There appear to be lots of horrors which has occurred here that it is believed that a weird sense of negative energy has washed over the very walls themselves, and it isn't long before the Ouija brothers, even though they still have a usual calm demeanor, find themselves looking over their shoulder and asking every sound. Certainly, any building that's hundreds of years old is certain to make some really spine-chilling noises, and some of what they record just bears a resemblance to the foundation settling and stuff like that. However, other encounters, like this one only 2 minutes into their investigation, appear to be in response to a very specific question. Despite the fact that I agree with them that it's coming from above, please share with me if you do as well.
Are you upstairs?
No matter what is trailing him appear to prefer to have a height advantage at all times. However, at 8 minutes and 25 seconds, pay attention to the following, because Jason really looks up a split second before hearing the noise. Did they arrange this and he screwed up, or did he become aware of it moments before?
Is that you?
He was up above, weren't he?
The Ouija brothers walk past each cell, urging anything inside to come forth, convinced they've discovered a particularly haunted prison wing to investigate. Sweet is too focused on looking straight ahead to notice a light anomaly appear against the wall right next to him when they gently persuade a spirit to reveal itself. Despite the fact that I fully acknowledge that it could be their camera equipment, it never takes place once more, and the light pops up at the exact moment Jason inquired about the spirit's memories of life at Shepton Mallet Prison.
If you wish to come out, knock on the door that you want to come out of. Do you remember?
Jason goes on talking to the spirit about how the prison guards could go home while they were forced to stay here, unaware that it's already worked, and out comes the loudest bang of all.
was that?
However, that isn't the only thing they hear. They take out the electromagnetic meter to check for paranormal activity in the air currents. At first, despite the fact that there is not anything taking place, then it beeps repeatedly and turns green for an extended period of time. It seems that they can't get the meter to work once more, and they're attempting to figure out if it's a glitch when something terrifying interrupts them mid-sentence.
It sounded very violent, didn't it? Like...
And I'll improve the audio quality to make it easier to understand. Because it's a small muffled voice from afar, small and far away that it shouldn't even have registered on camera, especially with the heavy door shut at the back of them, it reaches their ears with startling clarity. Even though they agree it's a woman, they can't determine her exact location, and when they leave the prison, it's as empty as it's ever been. The legend shows that this could be the voice of one of the oldest inmates. A woman is known only as the Woman in White. It is believed that she has murdered her fiancé and died in 1680 as a result of her actions. She's now wandering the A and B wings, moaning about her woes. When they are looking for her, the electromagnetic reader they left behind become crazy again, which shows that while they can have left the room, she may not have, and the reason they could listen to her so clearly was because her ghostly presence had been standing not in another room, but at the back of them all along. Number 2. It appears that Connor Biddle and India Hopwood are a ghost hunting duo who travel to various haunted locations to look for paranormal encounters, which also happens to be the name of their YouTube channel. Connor, who was born in Indiana, released a full-length paranormal documentary in 2012 and has never stopped researching. India, his partner, moved to South Carolina from England and has been paying a visit to haunted locations since she was 10 years old, eventually taking over investigations as a teenager. They mostly seem to have 2 decades of combined experience combating the afterlife and a wealth of fascinating evidence to share. This time, they're in Wytheville, Virginia, to investigate the notorious Octagon Mansion.
I am in the Octagon Mansion, alone. The only thing I can see is what's on this night vision camera.
The Octagon Mansion, also known as the Roundhouse, was built in 1870 and has a comparatively unexplained haunted history. And many families have lived here over its century-plus history, and it has also been a few different businesses for a while, none of which have lasted for no matter what reason. It seems that the town itself was once the site of an outbreak that claimed more than 100 lives, and this may have contaminated Wytheville with many restless spirits. With that in mind, it should be completely unsurprising that it is believed that a little host girl is on the 2nd floor, especially given that the outbreak specifically targeted children. While Connor is discovering the 1st floor, his camera goes out of focus for a fraction of a second before he detects something nearby.
Is there anybody here?
Despite the fact that there is not anything to cause it to blur, the background shifts as if someone is getting up right in front of him. And it seems to stay blurry for 11 full seconds before snapping back into focus for no apparent reason. And then, this noise occurs a few seconds after the image comes into focus, almost as if an invisible left the shot and entered a different room. When a doll is left out for the girl to play with, he makes another soft knocking sound.
Oh my God.
And be careful about the exact location of the doll since it will be important in a moment. However, for the time being, it appears that the girl will be coming downstairs to take a closer look at the toy. Therefore, at 2 minutes and 27 seconds, the doll seems to be in front of the farthest right window. However, it's right now 4 minutes and 45 seconds later, and it's standing by the far left window, arms raised to its mouth, as if afraid. Connor now claims that he does not know if the doll moved or if the camera angle was the cause of the movement. Despite the fact that I believe it moved me, the fact that he does not run to claim credit gets me to have a high opinion of his work even more. On another night, according to Connor and India, they have captured a spirit named Nina. Is this the sound of a person or of electronic interference? And I actually admire India's ability to remain calm in the face of adversity. My reaction was similar to Connor's. It seems that she saw a lot as a ghost hunter to not be bothered by this. In any case, this sounds to me like a pure agony scream. There is no hatred in the voice, only pain.
Hey, it's okay again.
Maybe the girl upstairs is the last scream. And unless you thought the previous sound was human, this one is unmistakably a woman's cry. India is quite capable of translating.
It's all real. Every bit of it.
And according to my opinion, it truly says hey here, as she says. Besides, I believe it because the ghost says hello one more time. In terms of physical sightings, this is the best evidence Connor has. This 2012 video was shot in Bourbon, Indiana, in the attic of an old pizza parlor that used to be an apartment building, and shows a weird anomaly hovering against the wall. And it doesn't bear a resemblance to a flashlight beam because, aside from not being round, there isn't a ray of light connecting it to a source. As the white outline leaves from the wall, it does not also convert size or shape like a flashlight would, as an alternative remaining completely unchanged as it moves through the darkness. Number 1. The Ghosts of Mississippi, a YouTube channel, tries very hard to knock the bottom out of supposedly paranormal hotspots. You may recall an amazing video of theirs that I looked over at the Wolf Manor in Clovis, California, in which a cross pushes its way through the floor. Whatever, the point is that these paranormal investigators are courageous to travel across the country for a good investigation, and it's this type of commitment that distinguishes their channel. Having said that, I would like to concentrate on another series of haunting videos of theirs, ones that center on a haunted church in their home state, a location they have conducted an investigation frequently. On December 19, 2019, they go into the church and start giving a talk to any spirits that may be present. They express genuine sympathy and apologize for the church's condition. After that, after setting up a certain level of trust, they ask anyone for anything listening.
I just make one loud noise?
Needless to say, because he could have simply walked slowly and wearily across the floor to make the sound, this isn't convincing proof of a ghost. However, when they take out the spirit box and begin asking questions, they receive two distinct responses.
Alright, do you want to speak to me now?
The first is shown below. When he makes as if not to understand, there's a second note that resembles it's coming from a row of pews further back, rather than the spirit box.
Yes?
Yes?
Despite the possibility that this spirit box is nothing more than random radio airwave responses, the chances of hearing note twice and in perfect time with a question are slim to none, in my opinion. Orbs start dancing all around, and after that, it says something that I can hardly hear, so I'm uncertain about this one.
Kevin, I heard that.
This follow-up cry for help, on the other hand, is as clear as it can be, and I find it spine-chilling how it waits a suitable amount of time to respond. Moreover, I don't believe the orbs which are dancing around are serendipity. After that, there seems to be a weird shadow figure in the stall, which can be seen at around 9 minutes. Is this Kevin the spirit, or is this what Kevin was appealing to? No matter what it is, when he returns to the same location 8 minutes later, the corner is entirely empty, and no matter what was there is no longer there. They came back to the church a few weeks later, on January 5, 2020, to have a closer look.
So stand up, you can't sleep.
Dude, I'm seeing something demonic.
This time, when one of them kneels to look in the mirror, a spine-chilling image of an evil entity seems to appear before their eyes. A demonic image can be seen peeking in from the right side of the mirror. And you can see its raised hand and, if you pause at 3 seconds, there seem to be 2 eyes and a tiny open mouth. As he stands up, the figure vanishes and does not reappear. Needless to say, despite the fact that it could just be a dirty mirror, when the investigator kneeled down, he felt something seize hold of his hat, and when they shine their light on the mirror to attempt to create it again, the figure never returns.
Freaking. Dude.
They make up their mind to go away before anything else takes place because roaming cold spots start to pass over them. However, at 1 minute and 11 seconds, I listened to a hiss on the way out. And when they approached the final room, they listened to a warning sound from deeper within that I can only explain as paranormal. This resembles no other animal I've ever heard, and I can almost listen to the hatred in its guttural growl. They looked for the origin of the growl for a few moments longer before deciding to flee. There seem to be so many sounds and sightings in such a short period of time, I am little certain that something dreadful conceals within these corridors. Despite the fact that its very presence is a degradation of this place, perhaps that is why this demonic force has decided to make this place its new home, and I suspect that it will go away anytime soon. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because I upload a new video every day. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of my other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy.